UT Health is more than a hospital. We've been an academic center now for several years.
As an academic or university medical center, UT Health Northeast is part of the University of Texas system, joining 9 universities and 5 other health science centers conducting world-class research. Professor Barbara Brown Elliott runs one of the many labs here.
Biomedical research it involves basic research, but it also involves clinical research. We do testing both in the laboratory, what we call basic research, and then we do testing on patients, which we call clinical research. And some of the researchers are studying diseases related to the heart. Some of them are studying diseases related to the lungs. We have one group that's studying lung scarring, what happens after different kinds of infections occur. We have other groups that study mycobacterial disease. That's bacteria that are related to tuberculosis. We have a group that's actually studying tuberculosis. And we have another group that studies influenza and different bacteria or germs that cause different kinds of diseases.
UT Health Northeast has been part of the UT system and actively engaged in biomedical and clinical research since 1977.
Because we have massive volumes of bacteria stored away from years and years of clinical work, we're able to provide a resource that a lot of laboratories can't provide. They don't have the resources of those kinds of stock cultures. And oftentimes with the new technologies, which look more into the genetic aspects of the bacteria, we're able to know more about what's going on, including what might make that drug be resistant in that patient that we didn't know many years ago.
Before medicines become available to the general public, they're tested for safety and effectiveness. UT Health Northeast researchers play a key role in that type of testing.
In order to investigate a drug, the company spends a large amount of money looking into and developing the drug itself from a chemical standpoint. And from there, it is developed, and basically it takes many years from the time that it starts to what we call a clinical trial. And a clinical trial actually involves using the drug in thousands of patients. And this is a very extensive effort with usually multi-centers, not just one center, but UT Health Northeast has been involved in several of those clinical trials in the past 25 years for specific drugs that are very important to treatment of the diseases of these bacteria that we see today.
Some of the medications you rely on most to protect yourself and your family pass through our laboratories on the way to your medicine cabinet.
We actually did the first studies at UT Health Northeast in 1991, I believe, with a patient from Kilgore, Texas, who was 88 years old and had an infection on her legs that was not curable, they thought at the time, but she took this medicine and was able to be cured from her infection. And so she was actually the first patient in the United States treated with this drug that became a very important drug for the treatment of non-TB mycobacteria.
Specialized research conducted at UT Health Northeast often leads to the development of medicines with much broader applications.
When you go to the doctor, if you have a sore throat and he gives you a Z-Pak, Z-Pak is a drug called azithromycin. And azithromycin is used a lot for different kinds of infections. Here in our institution, we actually started some of the original studies that were done on azithromycin.
UT Health Northeast scientists are also working hand in hand with your doctor to make sure you get the best care.
I get a lot of phone calls from physicians who want to know what can I treat my patient with to get rid of this bacteria that they have. So I'm in the position to tell him that in the laboratory at least, this particular drug works against this bacteria and might be the drug that you want to use to treat that patient.
The combined biomedical and clinical research expertise at UT Health Northeast has helped the institution develop a world-class reputation.
People outside of Tyler know a lot more of what we do than the people in Tyler, and that's really sad. But that's true. When I go to a meeting and I'm talking to people, they know who we are and what we do. But here they go by the sign and they go, oh, another hospital. We actually have been able to set the global standards that are used for treatment and also the laboratory standards that are used in the laboratory for studying these bacteria for susceptibility testing, that is seeing what drugs are useful for these particular kinds of bacteria, and also for how to identify the organisms.
The research conducted at UT Health Northeast is as vital as it is impressive, and it comes at a high cost.
Running a laboratory can be really expensive. To do the work, to do the testing, to pay the personnel would be a minimum of $2 or $3 million a year. But how can you put a price tag on the life-saving research that we're doing here at UT Health Northeast?